This is the story of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's begin now.
'Twas a long time ago, longer now than it seems, in a place that perhaps you've seen in your dreams, for the story that you are about to be told took place in the holiday worlds of old. Now, you've probably wondered where holidays come from. If you haven't, I'd say it's time you begun.
It was October 31st in Halloween Town, a realm that all manner of scary monsters called home. Crumbling tombstones, windswept hills with overgrown paths leading to creaky metal gates, and everything was covered in cobwebs. There were monsters there of all shapes and sizes, and creatures the likes of which most have never dreamed. Ghosts, ghouls, and other spooky creatures paraded around the square, celebrating another year's successful Halloween. That year had been a hit, delivering on all the jumps and frights the holiday promised. A scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head sprang to life and grabbed a lit torch, swallowing it whole. Before long, the scarecrow was dancing on top of its wooden horse, fully aflame. It made a fantastic dive into a fountain. And a moment later, a familiar face popped back above the water. It was Jack Skellington. Everyone cheered for Jack, the Pumpkin King and leader of their town. He bowed and waved to the crowd.
I believe it was our most horrible yet. Thank you, everyone.
A rag doll named Sally gazed at Jack, longing to join him. But just then, Dr. Finkelstein, the scientist who had created her, grabbed her arm. Sally struggled, trying to get away.
Let go!
But he wouldn't. Sally was a rag doll after all, sewn together from many different parts. And so she pulled the thread holding her arm to her shoulder. With one final tug, Sally escaped, her arm ripping at the seams so it remained in the doctor's hand. She ran off into the night, leaving Dr. Finkelstein still holding her leaf-filled arm as it knocked him across the head. As the celebration continued, Jack also slipped away alone. Something was missing. He was tired of doing the same thing over and over again, year after year after year. Jack wandered, lost in thought, into a familiar cemetery, which just so happened to be where Sally was hiding out. She gasped and hid, watching Jack curiously from behind a grave. Jack passed a doghouse-shaped tombstone. His ghost dog, Zero, floated up to join him. Jack should have been happy, but he wasn't. No one would argue that at scaring, Jack was the best. But despite Jack's frightful talents as Pumpkin King, Halloween had lost its thrill. Jack longed for something new. Hidden in the shadows, Sally watched as he sadly walked through the graveyard. She understood all too well what it was like to feel hopeless, restless, trapped.
Jack, I know how you feel.
When Sally returned home, the scientist scolded her as he reattached her arm. He said she needed to listen to him because he had created her. The scientist kept working.
You can make other creations. I'm restless. I can't help it.
But the scientist refused to set her free. On the other side of town, Jack and Zero wandered through the night and into the wee hours of the morning. Zero was getting bored and wanted to play.
Oh, Zero, not now. I'm not in the mood. All right.
Jack took off one of his rib bones.
Here you go, boy.
He threw the bone into the forest, and the ghostly dog happily floated off to fetch it. Zero had to use his lit-up nose to find the bone and quickly return it to Jack. They walked further than they ever had before, and soon found themselves in a strange part of the forest. Jack was confused.
Where are we? It's someplace new.
As the sun in the sky rose, they came to a clearing ringed by a group of trees with strange symbols carved into them. Jack stopped in his tracks and looked around curiously before asking,
What is this?
Each tree trunk had a door with its own unique, colorful image. One door had a grinning jack-o'-lantern on it. One had a green clover, and another a red heart. There was a door with a turkey, an egg, and one with fireworks. But Jack was strangely drawn to the door with a decorated pine tree. He turned the knob, and a gust of wind curled up, whirling around him. In a flash, it pulled him through the door, slamming it shut, and leaving Zero on the other side. A flurry of snowflakes surrounded Jack as he fell down, down, down into a seemingly endless pit. When he finally landed, he found himself on a snowy hilltop. He looked down to see the most amazing sight. A beautiful little town, sparkling with bright, colorful lights. Jack slid down the hill to the glittering town, and everyone was happy. There wasn't a single frightening thing in sight. And Jack thought it was wonderful. He took in every detail, bursting with curiosity and joy. When he bumped into the town's welcome sign, he discovered its name, Christmas Town. Jack looked to his right as a door opened, revealing the shadow of a round man with a long beard and pointy hat.
Ho, 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 ho!
Back in Halloween Town, Jack's friends were worried. They couldn't find him anywhere. It wasn't like him to disappear. The mayor sounded the alarm. There were only 364 days left until next Halloween. Inside the scientist's laboratory, Sally secretly added Nightshade to a cauldron as she prepared Dr. Finkelstein's lunch. She wanted to put him to sleep so she could join the search for Jack. Sally grabbed a bottle of frog's breath to hide the taste of Nightshade. When she opened the lid, an impatient-looking frog poked out and breathed all over her soup. She served it to the scientist, but he was suspicious. Sally tricked him by pretending to taste the soup herself.
See? Scrumptious.
Satisfied that the soup was safe, Dr. Finkelstein ate up. Meanwhile, the creatures of Halloween Town had just about given up on finding Jack their leader when the Pumpkin King himself burst into the town square. He rode a mechanized snowmobile and pulled a cart of Christmas goodies. Jack couldn't wait to share his festive discoveries with everyone at the town hall.
Listen, everyone. I want to tell you about
Christmas Town. The monsters listened intently. They expected delightfully horrible presents like those in Halloween Town. He showed them a brightly wrapped present